The state takeover of Fort Worth ISD is moving to the next phase with new leadership. Good evening. I'm Clarice Tinsley. Superintendent Peter Licata, along with a 9-person board of managers, are expected to dramatically improve performance. He and the board were installed this morning. Fort Worth ISD is under state control after chronic failures at one campus and academic problems across the district. Fox 4's Dionne Anglin joins us live. Dionne.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, Fort Worth ISD has a new superintendent and board of managers. These sweeping changes come amid the state's takeover, as you mentioned, due to the district's overall low performance.
This is an opportunity for me to bring my skill set to a place that deserves the best.
The new superintendent of Fort Worth ISD is lifetime educator Pete Licata, most recently credited with turning around Broward County Public Schools in Florida, one of the largest districts in the nation with 250,000 students. Licata's mission to transform Fort Worth ISD, the result of a turbulent state takeover, begins under a 21-day interim contract.
And the urgency of incremental growth or beyond incremental growth is far too significant than to be happy with a 1 or 2 or 3 point gain. It's good, but we have to be great.
Licata was sworn in Tuesday at 7 a.m., as was a completely new 9-member board of managers, a cross-section of professionals, including former Fort Worth Congressman Pete Guerin, others with career histories as attorneys, business owners, banking and nonprofit professionals, as well as educators and current parents of Fort Worth ISD students.
This has been difficult for the community. I will say I've been in the background watching, waiting, and understanding. It's been very difficult. But now we have an opportunity.
I wholeheartedly agree that more information needs to be provided.
Tiffany Clark is a state board of education member whose district includes part of Fort Worth. She is critical of the timing of the new board announcement, calling it a major distraction for students 2 weeks before STAR testing begins.
They now have the capacity to go in and make whatever changes they want. When you bring in a new superintendent, they can change your principles. We don't know how fast or slow that's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow.
She also has concerns about the level of transparency between the state and local community.
I received that this was going to happen late yesterday afternoon. And all I was told that it was going to happen and to watch the news in the morning to see who would be named what. So if that's the level of transparency I received as an elected state board of education member, what is the community getting?
Superintendent Licata described a sense of urgency ahead of standardized testing to make sure his team is prepared to process that data when it is ready. The district's new stakeholders also insist the transition will include transparency as well as positive changes that lead to measurable student achievement gains. Commissioner Mike Morath confirming that Tuesday on a phone call from Austin.
And I will say that bringing in an outside party, a fresh set of eyes, can significantly benefit when trying to reassess from top to bottom the things that are going on.
Our educational system is going to look differently. It's going to be focused on standards. It's going to be focused on reading. It's going to be focused on math. And it's be focused on our excellent teachers.
A previously scheduled district board meeting for tonight has been canceled. A hiring fair that is set for Saturday here at this district training center is still scheduled.